Welcome. I'm Valerie Steffen, part of the training team here at Bright. During today's session, we'll help you get to know Bright's Off-MLS policy so that you're able to stay in compliance. We'll help you identify circumstances where you can meet special client requests within the MLS using the coming soon status, specific listing management fields, or a waiver of cooperation. We'll talk about the latest updates with regards to new construction and rentals and some recent system upgrades. So, what are off-MLS listings? Well, off-MLS listings, or pocket listings as they're sometimes called, are listings that are marketed and sold outside of the MLS system. To understand why the time has come for Bright's off-MLS policy and why it's the right policy for this time, let's talk the 3 C's plus 1. Bright recently introduced this off-MLS policy, which largely mirrors NAR's recently adopted MLS 8.0, Clear Cooperation, for the 3 C's: consumers, competition, and cooperation. Plus 1. First, consumers. The consumer deserves access to information, the biggest marketplace, and the widest selection. Next, we have competition. Agents deserve the opportunity to compete and to serve their clients, not to get shut out by elite closed networks. And the spirit of cooperation, really the basis of why the MLS exists. We know that our industry is under scrutiny, and we need to reinforce transparency in the transaction and to be forthright with how our professionals are engaging. And let's not forget the plus 1, fair housing. Pocket listings are the gateway to housing discrimination, and there's no place for exclusive groups deciding who the right type of buyer is for a property. Further, you may have heard about NAR's Clear Cooperation 8.0. In this comparison, you'll see NAR's Clear Cooperation policies and Bright's Off-MLS policy echo one another. Bright's policy began on October 16th of 2019, though the potential for fine notices did not begin until February 1st of 2020, to better align with NAR's timeframe. NAR's policy began January 1st of 2020, and they're requiring that MLSs adopt the policy by May 1st of 2020. Commercial, multifamily, farm, and land listings are exempted from Bright's policy. So let's get to the policy itself. The policy states listings must be entered within 1 business day of public marketing. You can still advertise your listings on social media and place your sign. The listing just needs to be entered in the MLS within 1 business day, so Monday to Friday. This policy applies to residential listings within the Bright footprint. So when you hear public marketing, maybe you're thinking, what does that include? Well, public marketing includes flyers displayed in windows, yard signs, digital marketing on public-facing websites, brokerage website displays, including IDX and virtual office websites, digital communications marketing, so things like social media and email blasts, multi-brokerage listing sharing networks, and applications available to the general public. So what do you do if you do have a client with specific circumstances that preclude the normal entry and marketing of their listings? Well, you have a couple different options provided by Bright. First, you have coming soon. That's a status where you can pre-market your listing. You can publicly market listings in the coming soon status, but the property may not be shown to anyone, and non-new construction listings can only be in this status for 21 days. We have extended the period of time that properties that fall under new construction or have major renovations in place that prevent the listing from having a certificate of occupancy or similar permit. Those particular listings can be in the coming soon status for an extended period of time, up to 2 years. In order to accommodate the Off-MLS policy, we've recently changed the way the pricing history displays for listings in the Coming Soon status. Any new listing that is entered as coming soon after January 28th of 2020 will not reflect changes made to the list price in the listing history. With the announcement of the Off-MLS policy, many subscribers noted that when a listing was in Coming Soon, the sellers may still be considering the exact list price. They requested the history of price changes in this status be hidden to ensure that their clients weren't penalized for raising or lowering the price. This change provides that flexibility while still allowing potential buyers the ability to see coming soon listings in their price range. Please note, this change will not update the previous listings or the listing history for those listings. It will only affect listings going forward after January 28th. Next, to meet the needs of a seller who does not want their listing publicly marketed, you may use a waiver of cooperation. This indicates that the listing is an office exclusive. Office exclusives are permitted with a signed waiver of cooperation. Keep in mind that public marketing is not permitted for office exclusives. Your next option is if you have a seller who requests that their property not be displayed on the internet. Bright does offer the field Seller authorizes the listing on the internet in listing management. This controls whether the listing is sent out to consumer websites through the Bright data feed. Please note that the listing will display in the MLS, and keep in mind that your broker or brokerage may send the listing through a different feed. So if you're going to use this field and this option, you may want to have a conversation with your broker or the marketing team at your office just to assure that the listing won't end up on the internet through a different method. Since announcement of the policy on October 16th of 2019, we've had a lot of discussion with brokers and agents. Based on that discussion, new construction and residential rentals are subject to the policy. As mentioned earlier, new construction properties will be able to remain in the Coming Soon status for an extended period of time as long as a certificate of occupancy or equivalent is not in place. Once showings are accepted, the status will need to be updated to active. Showings are not permitted in the Coming Soon status. New construction is defined as all newly built homes that have not been previously occupied and is assigned in listing management using the new construction yes/no field. If you're entering a listing marked new construction yes, it can remain in the Coming Soon status for up to 2 years. Condo conversions and major renovations where there is no current certificate of occupancy will have accommodations similar to new construction. You'll be able to indicate in listing management under the showings requirements field that the property is a major rehab and cannot be occupied. Rentals include all properties available for rent that are zoned for residential use. Please note that vacation rentals are not included. Similar to commercial listings, these rentals are handled differently and even designated separately through the tax code. While NAR's Clear Cooperation policy made an exception for commercial listings, there was no exception made for rentals. So in order to be more in line with that policy, residential rentals will now be included as part of Bright's Off-MLS policy. We understand that this is a new policy, and we want to assure that you have what you need to understand the new rule. Please note that fines will not be assessed without warning and the opportunity to enter the listing. The repercussion for violations of the policy with residential properties are a $5,000 fine. It's a $500 fine for rentals. Though this may seem steep, the desired outcome is compliance with the policy, whereas a lighter fine could be seen as the cost of doing business. As with all fines at Bright, fines may be appealed. We do have some resources in place for you. You may want to bookmark our Off-MLS resource page www.brightmls.com/offmls. It's where you'll find articles, videos, a recording to this class, and any updates as needed. Our Bright Accuracy and Policy team will be here to help. Their phone number is 301-838-7140, and you can email questions and concerns about the Off-MLS listings to their attention at offmlslistings@brightmls.com. Now, if you need to report a possible violation, please include the following information. You can do this by sending an email, or you can use the Submit a Case feature that you can find under Bright's support menu. You'll want to include the full address of the property, the listing agent name, the listing agent's company, and whatever documentation you have. So that could be maybe a picture of a yard sign, a URL of a property that you've seen online, a flyer, a screenshot, an email, whatever it is that's leading you to believe that this is an off-MLS listing.